This is me again, Jimmy. I'm here to pay a special tribute to Mr. Dick Dale, who's in the very new issue of Vintage Guitar Magazine, a wonderful article about him and him being the king of surf guitar, and unfortunately his passing, which happened just a couple months ago. He was born Richard Anthony Monsoor, born in Boston, Massachusetts on March 4th, 1937. He moved when he was 17 to El Segundo, California, which would have been 1954. Of course, he's the undisputed king of surf guitar. Also, the self-proclaimed king of surf guitar, and the self-proclaimed not king of surf guitar. He said he had moved way, way beyond surf guitar. But he did create the phenomenon of surf music. He threw shows regularly at the Rendezvous Ballroom early in his career in Balboa, California, very close to Newport Beach. He filled that room to capacity, and that was 3,000. And he had what he called surf stomps. And I'd give my eye teeth if I would have been born to be there. One of his early hits, one of the first surf hits, was a little song called Let's Go Trippin'. Basically a little 1-4-5 thing that goes like this. He was fascinated by Middle Eastern music, and he included Arabic themes throughout his songs. He played a lot of cover tunes and always included sort of an Arabic theme. Maybe not on Let's Go Trippin', but a lot of them he did. He actually sang on some of his earliest songs, but he played kind of in a Phrygian scale. Although I'm not going to guarantee that he called it Phrygian, but something like this, you know. You get the idea. Of course, his biggest hit was an icon called Miserlou. It was in the movie called Pulp Fiction, but it came out way, way, way before that, 30 years before Pulp Fiction came out. And he had many monster musicians in his band, including bassist Sam Bull was his most recent bass player, a monster bass player. He had Sam Bull's from Slacktone. He had Dusty Watson, also from Slacktone, in his band. He had Dax Nielsen in his band, who's in Cheap Trick right now. He's one of the few musicians to have his music as the soundtrack to a ride at Disneyland. His music was the soundtrack to Space Mountain for a short time. Also, I think the only other band that had that honor would be Aerosmith. Buckethead has his music to all the rides, but only Buckethead can listen to those things. I had the opportunity to open for Dick Dale quite a few times. Most recently was very close to his death. I opened for him at Big Bear, which is very close to his home, which was in 29 Palms. We played at the Cave at Big Bear, and it was a great show. And he was still giving it his all. He gave 100%, even when he wasn't feeling good. At that point, his body was pretty ravaged by cancer, but he still gave it 100%. I'd like to point out I have a brand new podcast that Vintage Guitar Magazine is presenting. It's available on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. It's called Have Guitar Will Travel. Please check it out, like it, share it, leave comments, write me and let me know who you'd like me to have on, and give me some feedback. I'd love to hear it, even if it's bad. This is Dick Dale's greatest hit, of course, Miserlou. And a little song goes like this. Woo! everybody. Please support Vintage Guitar and all the wonderful things they do, because they do many wonderful things, including bringing me to you and bringing you to me. And I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.